Hey everyone, it's your girl Kitty Cat, and here on my channel you can find advice, beauty, and lifestyle. If you clicked on today's video, more than likely you are experiencing a work bully. I know, it sounds so cringe. A work bully? You think, gosh, aren't bullies only something that you experience when you're like growing up? Bullies oftentimes, they grow up and they're everywhere. They're in all scenarios. There are bullies everywhere. How do you deal with a work bully as an adult? It's similar to dealing with a bully when you're in school. You stand up for yourself, you stand your ground. But in a work situation, it's a little different. My first piece of advice when you're dealing with a work bully is to always, and I mean always, remain professional. What's that quote again? When they go low, you go high. Honey, if that is not the truth, then I don't know what is. You always want to remain professional because at the end of the day, you are there to work. You are employed. You have a job. They are paying you in your bills. You don't want to lose your job because you lost your cool on somebody who's been pressing your buttons. You will always win. Being professional, being your best self, putting your best foot forward in a work situation, you will always win. You will always win, and you will take that experience with you to your next job. And a lot of times, you know, when you're in a job interview, they say, have you had a coworker that you didn't get along with? How did you handle it? And you can let your employer know, yeah, I have had experiences where I didn't get along with coworkers. However, XYZ, this is how I handled it, and this is how I remained professional. Boom. You're a boss. Don't forget about it, okay? So just always remain professional. In the real world, it's different. If this is the real world and you are a little bit more petty, you want to throw jabs, you want to throw a little shade, you can do that in your real life. But in the workplace, you don't want to do that. You want to refrain from the pettiness. You can be professional petty, but again, professional is in the sentence. Professional is the key word. Don't forget what your job is and what you signed up to do. Whether those bullies are there or not, you're still expected to show up, be positive, and get the job done. Something that I learned from a former coworker is to turn up the honey. So turn up the honey means get sweet on them. Be kind. What is that saying? How does it go? Kill them with kindness. It really works. When people are being so mean to you, but you're still being nice to them, they literally don't understand it. They don't get it. And when you turn up the honey and you're still just sweet as pie and nice as can be, like, you're showing them that they can't win, that you're not fazed because you're still your best you. When they're getting nasty, you want to turn up the honey because you know what they say, you get more bees with honey. And the last thing I would say is if you are experiencing bullies in the workplace, you have to address it. If it's getting to a point where you don't want to go to work or you're afraid that you're going to continue to get made fun of or they're going to talk bad about your work or whatever the case is, it needs to be addressed. Whether you directly address it with them of what's going on or you go to your direct supervisor or your manager or HR or whoever you go to, it needs to be addressed. Just address it. We're adults. And confrontation, it's not fun. Me, myself, I personally don't like confrontation. I really don't. But at the same time, you cannot allow people to treat you with disrespect, especially in the workplace, because you're expected to work together no matter what. If you don't want to address it to them directly, like I said, go to, whoever is your boss. Go to them. And if your boss is your work bully, address it with them. If you're not comfortable addressing it with them because you're in fear of retaliation, you got to go to the next person in line. Just follow the chain of command. If you always remain professional and you always turn up the honey, what bad can they say about you? You're like, I always remain professional. I do the best I can. I'm the best me I can be, yet I'm still being mistreated. Address it, okay? So 3 things. Always remain professional. Turn up the honey, and address it. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, and don't back down. Something I learned from a New Yorker, I went on a date with a New Yorker once, and he told me, he said, you never back down. Even if you're so scared and you're shaking and you're afraid of this person, you never back down. ever. Hope this video was helpful for you. If you've ever experienced workplace bullying, how do you handle it? Let us know down in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.